One. All right, we're back at it. Pastor Joseph Webb brought his sister here, Jorea from JWAY Fitness. TADD, my co-host, back at it. Whenever Joe's on here, we always talk about how to have a healthy lifestyle, specifically healthy relationships. But one thing we tend to neglect, not only on this podcast, but in our life, and that's our bodies. We really have to treat our body as our temple. And I believe that having a healthy lifestyle physically and having a healthy body is going to correlate to having a healthy mindset and having a healthy spirit. You can't have if you don't have a healthy temple, it's going to be a much tougher time to have a healthy mind. And I'm very grateful for you, and thank you for coming here and take the time as always and bring your sis over here so she can share some of this knowledge about how we can have a healthier body and the current crisis that Minnesota is currently facing with obesity.
Thank you so much for having us. I appreciate that. I don't take it for granted. You guys could have chose anybody. So we appreciate the invitation to be here and your wonderful hospitality. Thank you so much for having us. We're honored to be here. Thank you.
Oh, we love having you, king of the one-liners.
And I got my beloved sister today, Jorea. She's going to be the theme guest. I'm just here to sit in and cause some ruckus. No, I'm not going to cause any ruckus. I'm just here.
That's what you do best.
No, Lord, no. I try to liberate. And so thank you for having us. We're glad to be here. We are honored. You could have chose anybody. So we don't take for granted that you extended your invitation and your resources to us. So let's get it on the road.
All right, let's
get
it.
it. Well, Jorea, I got to ask you. I told you off air, my girl, she's pregnant. We're expecting later this fall.
Absolutely.
How do I tell her that in a nice way without her ripping my head off that she's got to lose that weight somehow, eventually?
Oh, man. Right into it. Get right into it.
Hey, we only got an hour,
into
so
it.
I got to
Yes.
get into the juicy stuff.
Right.
Yes, and thank you again for having us, just like Pastor Joe had said.
Yep.
So first of all, women, when they become expecting, they are extremely sensitive. But trusting you that you guys are in a committed relationship, that you do have her and your child in the best interest is number one. Reassurance that, I'm talking to you out of love, but during this time, you have to be a support system to make sure she understands, look, 9 months of carrying a human life inside of your body and all the cravings and things, we got to either work out together, and then afterwards, let's keep that physical fitness going, because afterwards, your body is going to gravitate to everything that you did unhealthy during 9 months.
Yeah.
And if you just put anything in your body or don't respond to physical fitness while you're carrying it, guess what? Your body's going to put on double, and it's going to be harder to get rid of that weight. And in a loving way, explaining to a woman, and as a woman and who has carried human life, it does go back to normal. It does. And as long as she's not having underlying health issues, and like I said, being sensitive to the fact that women go through a lot with just carrying a human life. Hormones completely change.
Yeah.
And not in a negative way, but you can feel like a victim
of,
oh my God, I just wanted to make a baby, and all of a sudden I'm being looked at as a victim of trying to do something bad to someone. When you say things about weight.
Yeah.
I got a question.
But at the same time, I don't think there's anything bad about not wanting your partner to get overweight.
There's nothing bad about that.
I don't think that's like
No.
if I started to gain a few pounds, I would expect her to be like, babe, we gotta let's get in the gym here. We gotta start getting a sweat.
You're gonna have to provide support to her during that time so that she doesn't feel like you're just putting it on her.
Yeah.
That
I'm just being an asshole. Yeah.
She's going to gain weight. The baby's going to do that. And depending on even the sex of the child, they may want her to eat more.
It's a little girl.
It's a little girl.
Wait. I got it.
Go,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
My question is, when is the deadline when he should say something? How much time? How much grace is when is the grace period over?
All right, baby's out. All right,
the 3 months, 4 months, was that grace period over? Like, okay, after the grace of, okay, she just had a baby.
So mind you, women go through trimesters. There's 3. So the first trimester is the most crucial, because we're going through the fact that there is a human life getting to, how far along is she?
5 months.
5 months.
So September is what she's due.
We're about
September.
to hit the brain development. And we're about to hit the organ development of the child. Therefore, it probably wouldn't be a good time to start talking about weight gain when it comes to this particular trimester. Now, hitting the third trimester, well, you guys are probably going to classes together. You may or may not be. But you know what? Let's start walking. Let's start doing things. Let's start stretching. Let's
So you're
do
saying
yoga
she can be
classes.
doing stuff now?
Absolutely. I worked out the
and she
entire
should
time.
be doing stuff
Absolutely.
now. Because it's not even
Oh.
about losing the weight now. No, I like this because
No.
I see what you're saying. It's not about losing the weight. It's about creating the habit.
Habit. Wow.
It's getting the habit now.
Yes, it's going to be harder if she just starts after, because what a lot of women don't realize is they think it's a handicap when you're pregnant. I
Yes.
can't do anything. Absolutely
It's
not.
an excuse to eat McDonald's, Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
Anytime you get a craving for some junk fast food,
Yep.
your pregnancy is an excuse to eat it.
Right.
My question is after the baby has came, not on the way to.
Okay.
Like we don't want to say, okay, we're not going to mention anything about weight on the way to having the baby. I'm saying after the baby is there, what's the grace period where you can say, okay, a year has gone by and she's even heavier, or that's what I think. That's the nucleus of the question. I
Yes.
think.
Yes.
So
After.
is if she doesn't experience postpartum. So what postpartum is going through a phase of literally depression to where your body shuts down. It's the worst thing in the world. I've experienced it. It's worse than even the birth.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I just cut you off for a second. If they're experiencing postpartum, don't you think that's the best time they should work out to help
But
with
your
their
brain and your hormones don't have that inspiration to do that. Your body says, I feel like, you know what, and I can't even figure out how to get myself back to where it was. And it comes from not having the support that you need before the baby comes and during the baby. If your thing is somebody is looking at me like I'm the worst thing in the world, there is no way that your body, like, mind you, we carry human life for 9 months.
And what's the average weight that the woman gains? Like rough estimate, like 100 pounds?
20 to 40 pounds?
Oh, 24. Okay. Well, yeah.
If you're a freak of nature, some women are like, through the whole time, if you start at 130 and you go up to 160, that's okay. That's probably all baby weight and a little bit more. A year, her body will will be health, like actually everything inside will go back to what it's supposed to. Your outer body in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe 3 months, depending on if she was active during the pregnancy, will determine how long it's going to take her to pop back.
I got another question. What if let's put the pregnancy aside.
Yep.
What about the gaining weight before a child? Obesity.
Okay.
Or
So you're just saying about no pregnancy, but you're in a relationship and your partner is starting to gain weight.
yeah.
That's what you're saying. Can't take the child out of it.
Yeah.
And I got to
good.
add
Well, personally,
I gotta
I'll
add
say
on
it.
to that.
I couldn't be with someone who's overweight,
Me neither.
Cannot be with
and
someone.
I can't do it.
Me neither.
Let me just add on to that. You're a woman.
I'm a woman.
Yep.
So why don't you give the viewers an example of how you should say this to your woman?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So upon
That's
getting
good.
into a
Yep.
relationship, first of all, where men go wrong is
There we
for
go. Talk.
one.
Now let's start.
Let's go on.
Get it. Okay, let's see what's going on now.
I'm here to help. Where men go wrong is
do you like this?
not having that expectation and saying it
getting hot here,
from the get-go. My expectation for you during this relationship, because I was very forward getting into a new relationship. If my expectation, you know what's important to me is you maintain a healthy weight, a fit weight, so that I am visibly attracted to you.
Yes.
Because men are visual. So if you put
like
it
that.
in terms of, if you start to gain weight, are you okay with me saying to you, look, babe, I'm noticing a little bit more here. Are you okay with that? If she's just like, you're body shaming me, you can't, boom, you have your answer of how she's going to respond to you saying anything about her weight.
So that's when you need to kick her to the curb.
From door, in the very beginning, you need to say, because guess what? Women can say, they can ask about your car, your credit, your money. Why
you're
do you
damn right.
guys feel shunned about asking about weight if that is your expectation in a
We're
relationship?
demonized for that.
And you shouldn't be. Men shouldn't be. But the reasons you are is because you're allowing this woman to come in and have her standards, and then you guys' standards is shunned on or not respected because all of a sudden,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, 3 years in, now you're the bad guy because you said something like, babe, you're gaining some weight. But early on, okay.
There you go. Get close in it there.
Yeah.
Mind you.
There you go.
Mind you.
There you go. Now you're coming.
Hold
Now
on. Let's get
Hold on,
real.
let her finish.
Let's
Let her
get
finish,
real.
Mike.
Yeah, get real.
Okay.
Well, what would you do if your husband said, "Hey, like, you need to we need to go to the gym," or are you?
And he
like
has.
honestly,
And he has.
Yep.
Honestly,
Okay.
he has. I was getting dressed one day, and I was in the mirror. I did something. I was like, hey, something like that. And he was like, it's not the same anymore.
Damn.
I
I'm
said,
sorry, that's not-
I'd be scared to
I
say
said,
something like
did
that. I
you
feel
just
like.
call me fat? And he said, well, you told me in the beginning if you lost it to make sure that I tell you. So I'm just being honest. And he literally walked away. And I said, thank you for telling me. You know what I did? 30 days, 30 pounds. Sure did. Lost
Oh
it.
shit.
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, there's no way I'm going to have a man that looks like that looking at me and not being the only woman that he sees visibly and attracted to and want and desire when I'm the person who's supposed to keep his attention. At that point, you have to take responsibility as the woman in his life and say, you know what? I'm the woman in his life. I said, I vow to keep you happy. I vow to be the woman that you need me to do. It's the covenant of God.
Yep.
So if I'm saying that in the sight of God and then I let it go, why would I be offended that he said that to me? That would be very immature for me to get offended. And this is the person I vow to have a life with. And I love and want to be with. You know what? Now I have to take responsibility for my actions and get on top of what I'm doing. And women don't do that.
Not anymore. They don't.
Not anymore.
Now it's if you say something about a woman's weight, you're fat shaming them, and they feel like, you know. I always say this, like, props to them for having confidence in your own body and your own skin. That's great. I think everyone should have that kind of confidence in their own body. But at the same time, you got to quit lying to yourself at some point that being overweight is healthy and being overweight is attractive. Because if they could make a wish and they could just be skinny and have the perfect body that they want, every single one of them would take it.
Yes, or not
good.
do things unhealthy to their bodies to be attractive. Men, I think it's helpful for women to understand that their mate is supportive in who they are. If you start off loving the fact that there's a fupa involved, why would it change 5 years later that it got bigger? It was there when you met her.
Right.
So it's like, if that's not your standard of a woman, that she is not shaped like a certain standard, why would you even start a relationship with her
In the first place.
in the first place, knowing? And some men love bigger women.
Yeah.
Some men don't like smaller women. They desire more. The
Yeah.
more, the merrier. So there's somebody for everybody, but it helps when your partner is loving you for who you are. And if you're doing that authentically, you will be honest with your mate and say, you know what? It would really help if we can even do it together.
Yeah.
Or start eating healthier. But this has got to change because I'm visibly losing my stamina for you.
I got a question for you. What drove you into being fit and wanting to be fit and help somebody get fit? Because I've been to your training thing, and at the time I had an Achilles tear, and I just was bringing people because I want to help anybody. And I was looking at that stuff. I was like, that was hard stuff, even for a guy, them tires and stuff. And I'm like, that's a certain drive. What made you want to do something like that to get other women in shape? Because that's not a lot of women want to look out for other women's fitness. I've been meaning to ask you that, and you're my sister.
It's
I
a
ain't
good
never asked you
question.
that.
So, being a woman and being through, a divorce and being a mother and going through phases that women go through, I've experienced depression. I've experienced wanting to kill myself. I've experienced not wanting to live or yeah.
Yep.
And I've experienced what that
something new.
feels
Whoa,
like.
wait.
When I was younger, my nickname was Little Miss Piggy, remember? And I was bullied.
Did you used to be fat when you were younger?
I was
or
just-
chubby? 'Cause
She was
u-
frumpy.
I was frumpy.
I used to be fat. I used to have a little double chin. Never been so embarrassed in my. I hated my image more looking in the mirror than seeing that second chin there.
Wow.
Honestly.
And when you can see as a child, like not having the really tamed hair, like just I had big pink glasses,
Yeah.
like I wasn't like no boyfriends during high school,
Yep.
virgin till I was 21. Like I didn't even like how I looked growing. So it was like if I can literally put time and effort, and it wasn't more sexualizing myself, it was more valuing, you know what, I have a body, I've always had a body, but maintaining that for a lifelong time,
Yeah.
I could really help people. I went to school and got my personal training certification, massage therapy, to learn like the nervous system. Why don't people work out? Is it injuries? What is it? So just not being fit. I wanted to learn, why don't people like
Want to be fit.
Want to be fit,
Yeah,
and it
want to
feels
take
so
the time to
good
work out.
to look in the mirror without clothes on
Yeah.
and say, I don't have to wear a girdle. I don't have to wear extra stuff to look like
Yeah.
I want that. I want to be able to put on a bathing suit and say, I can run on a beach and be free. I don't have to be, scared of how I look. I want to be free in my own body and feel good about my body. Well, that's going to take work.
Yeah.
Because if you don't work out, if you don't eat healthy, if you don't care, well, that has a look. So you're going to look like that.
And that's what you're going to attract.
We
too.
told everybody. We've told everybody. It doesn't matter what you do. You go, girl, and you could be whatever weight you want to be. If he doesn't love you and your curves, he doesn't deserve you. And a lot of people have subscribed to that foolishness. And now you got a symphony of overweight people that are like, oh, he doesn't accept me for me. But it's a quandary, because we don't want to be that shallow because of somebody's weight, but the health concerns that it causes in a relationship with what they're dealing with, the person is less likely to get their needs met. And now the relationship has got an imbalance because this person has to nurture and have all this empathy for the person that's not physically fit or mentally fit, because your mind is only as healthy as the body, and the body is only as healthy as the mind. And so they go hand in hand. And so when you have this problem, it diminishes a healthy relationship. And it's good we're talking about this.
But it's not just, it's men and women, because, men's percentage in the state of Minnesota is actually higher than women for obesity and for being overweight.
Is men's higher overall, like in the country?
Yes.
I would guess so.
In the country?
To me, that's not surprising.
But a man could be appealing.
But yes, here's the
A
thing,
man could
though.
be appealing
Yeah.
if he's got, let's say he's a bigger, like I got a cousin, he's a bigger guy. He's very nice looking. He got good cologne. He smelled, and women see him as like the teddy bear type. Women don't have that avenue to be desired in our society.
Well, it's a little different too. Like, how many times have you seen a big dude with a just dime piece chick? A lot. And how many times have you seen the other way around though?
Exactly.
Or
a
bigger girl with like
a stud.
dime. Yeah, with
like
a stud.
the guy, like he could be an Abercrombie and Fitch model.
You don't see that.
Yeah.
Never, actually. I've been bartending
like,
for 10
yeah.
years. I've seen a lot of
Oh,
couples.
man.
You know,
That,
okay. Like,
But I think what it is too, I think people, their standards, instead of calling it like body shaming, people gravitate to like who's going to accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
And where that leads to is one person lowering their standards to have some form of comfort in a relationship. And that could be security. It could be with money. It could be with time invested. Sometimes people in these relationships aren't thinking about what really makes you happy. Now, some people are completely vain when it comes to, the human body and what people deal with. And mental health is one of the things that are geared around obesity and being overweight too. People don't realize anxiety, depression, having underlying health issues. But in the same token, what caused it? And that's where it's like, anybody can change their health habits. Anybody. I don't care if you're 500 pounds. If you have a desire, and you could be a healthy size 12, you could be a healthy size 8. Nobody has to, the image of healthy isn't a size 2 or a 4.
No.
Like, the society has that as like, if you look at Victoria's Secret now, look at the models in the window. They're plus size models. They're self-love and body imaging right now is really geared towards an average woman. State of Minnesota size 14, 16.
yeah.
No way.
But
Absolutely.
But I also think that's
way.
Absolutely. It's not a size 2 or a 6 or a 4. It's literally a size 12, 14, 16. It's an average size for a woman.
Wow.
But I
Yes.
think it's guys like thicker girls now. Like if you look at just
What?
If you look at guys like thicker girls now. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
no, that's not
Yes.
true.
No,
you
no,
know what
I
it
mean
is?
that-
It's there's more thicker girls, and they have no choice but to like
No,
them.
when I say that, I mean like if
Keep
you
it
look,
real.
If you looked at models and magazines, like people's butts nowadays would be too big for 30, 40 years ago. Like the whole
Yeah.
big, huge butt, the huge tits, like the figure 8 thing, that's something that came into the recent like past like 10, 15 years. Before it was you have to be fucking size 0, size -5, whatever, not have an ounce of fat on your
Right.
body.
And that was appealing.
Yeah, that was
Now
appealing
it's
back
being
then.
slim
Now it's
thick.
like they're too
Yeah.
skinny. And like,
BBLs
yeah, BBLs.
is our go-to. And people are plucking themselves.
Some of those don't look good though.
But like I
yeah,
said,
they're doing things that are unhealthy. They're getting even liposuction and not realizing there's an after effect to that.
Yeah.
You have to work out. You have to take care of your
Putting
body.
it on their butts. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like getting
Just putting it on
liposuction from their fat and then putting it on their ass. You know?
but like I said
Yeah.
though,
That's a real surgery
and I
now.
get,
I thought it was
I
silicone.
get-
How does that? Is that how?
I
that
don't.
works?
I'm
No,
sure
I
that's one
think
too.
it's-
I'm
it's
saying I
fat.
know there's a one where they take fat out because then you get skinny and you get a
different ones.
big
and
butt
they
too
want
at
to
the
use
same
their
time.
own body instead of using like gel or
Yeah.
silicone. They're using their own body weight to move it around. The other one that they're doing is plucking it now. Like there's an actual like hormone that they're plucking.
What do you mean?
Plucking your hips, plucking your butt, plucking things instead of getting cut. They have another way of doing it now to where you don't have to get cut. It's injections
Oh, I
to
heard
where
about
things
that.
get bigger. But people would rather risk their lives doing that than
Then put in the
physical
hard
fitness
work.
or working out.
Because they
And
want everything now.
Now,
Like if
yeah.
you are someone like who's overweight and you want that figure 8 body, you have granted you have the money to do it. They're all gonna go and spend who knows how many thousands of dollars on the surgery because this shit ain't cheap either.
It's not cheap.
Those type of surgeries, it's not cheap, dude.
But this
it's
is-
not.
this is
or are you
America,
gonna want to
you know?
work out for 5-6 days a week, hour to 2 hours long for a year,
And it
2
doesn't
years,
even take
3
that much.
years? I don't know.
Right. It doesn't
Like-
even take an hour a day. If people knew the right type of workouts to do,
Yeah.
they would realize like, wow, if I would have known this earlier.
Yeah.
It doesn't take an hour. And people in our age group, they're not working out that long. If you go in the gym, people don't even like to work out. They're wasting their
Right.
time in their gym with gym memberships. They're not even doing hour works.
No.
They're fooling around in the
Yeah,
gym.
they're on the
doing
phone,
the wrong
stretching,
things.
doing
Yeah.
something.
Watching
Yeah.
other people.
Should people trust those trainers in the gym?
You know, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say all of them because some are there just for a paycheck, but
Yep.
you'd be surprised how many trainers are really passionate about just helping people. Like they're in it because I literally stayed in fitness because I care about people, and seeing it go astray the way that it has, it bothers me. And I've had people say, well, you've never been obese, you've never been overweight, because I'm afraid of all the underlying health issues that happens once you stop caring. This is our temple. This is
Yep.
what we're given to take care of. And the moment you don't care about it, it's a bigger sin to let that go than the things that we say in a day. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you talk about your temple and you don't care about it?
And you abuse it.
You
Yeah.
abuse it. It's abuse. Drugs, I've never had alcohol. I've never smoked a cigarette. And it's like, to keep my temple pure, yeah, we put other things in our body, but drugs, alcohol, even medications, people
Yeah.
don't realize that they've been on for years, cause weight gain.
Or the 88 or that take medications to lose weight. Or I know
Oh my
people that
God.
take Adderall just to be skinny.
And you
the
know,
ADHD
the moment
medication.
They
How
stop,
does that work?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is Adderall?
Because you
Your
just
means
get
your metabolism.
It's a stimulant. You just
Yeah.
get basically tracked out. It's prescribed to people who have like high ADHD, but like you do not eat on it, dude. It does not make you hungry.
No. And it makes your adrenaline just
Yeah,
you're
just
on,
off
you're
the
wired,
off the walls.
and you can't gain weight when you're
Yeah.
on it. So
Well,
it's like these doctors are really quick to put you on.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to lose weight, take this.
Because they get paid.
They get
Yeah.
I got a question. Do you think people are more? If you had to hire somebody to work at the gym with you, does their fitness and appearance play a factor?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I've had people tell me when I was a general manager for a gym, they had a trainer there that wasn't fit. She was so disgusted by, how are you telling me how to get fit and you're not fit?
Yeah.
And I've always, anybody that I looked up to or trained with, like, because I'm a trainer, before boot camps I have to train, and I pick someone who I know is fit, strong, endurance. Like, I know that they have my visual at heart. Like, if I know I have admiration for you because you take care of your body, why would I follow somebody who doesn't? I don't. And you have people going online posting fitness videos who doesn't have a sense of no schooling. They never taught a class, but people are following them. But you have somebody who,
all you gotta do is have a nice butt and do some squats nowadays. Honestly, you go TikTok, Facebook, video, any young girl who's making gym videos, that's all they're doing.
But they're not fit.
No.
I've never understood that. And they will get more likes, more followers than somebody who's a professional and will actually tell you the truth about what you're doing. I mean, I've had people send videos like, am I doing this right in the gym? And I say, no, you're not. Try it this way. You will feel it better this way. Thank you for that. But they're not going to pay for my services because they know this is going to be work. I'm going to push you to your core. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to keep it real with you. And when you fall behind, I'm going to tell you we got to start over. And people don't like that. They don't like it to be a lifestyle. They want you to say, it's okay. You have a cheat day.
That's called fun easy mode. Life on fun easy.
But those
mode.
are
fun easy mode.
Those are the people
like
that aren't
the
serious.
one line king.
They're not serious.
You know, they're just like probably people that are like, oh, I got a personal trainer, but they're not like, they didn't really take the look at themselves in the mirror and like, hey, I got to do this.
Most of the personal trainers ain't worth the money. So I have a lifetime membership, and I watch people go over there who work out. And if you're these personal trainers, they show them how to just do machines on exercises.
Exactly.
You know, like if you're paying hundreds of dollars or even more than that for a person, I expect to leave just fucking gassed at the end. I mean, like, hate my life, don't want to work out, like, feels like I lost 5-10 pounds just in like water weight. You know, when you walk out, like, that's how you should feel when you have a personal trainer.
Absolutely.
The thing
Not
is,
someone who's going to correct your form on a lat pull down. Like, that stuff you can look on to do online. There's tons of information online.
Correcting your emotions. And it's that's where people fall short when it comes to having a trainer. They want us to be in tune with their emotions. And yes, there's a supportive way. And me being having a love for training women, yes, I have to be very in tune with emotions because I am a woman. I do understand. But I mean, I've had guys that are you kidding me? Like, they're not even focusing on what I'm telling them. They're more focusing on me. And I'm like, look,
really?
Oh my God.
You?
I could tell you some stories. And it baffles me because I'm just like, what are we doing right now? This is for you. This isn't you're not going to get anywhere doing what you're doing. And they lose focus because they can't handle, look, I'm a professional by all means. And if you want to do this, I'm going to have to put my hands on you. You have to be able to take that.
But see, guys, we're too stupid for that. Like, you start putting your hands on this, we start thinking, oh, she wants something else.
No.
Most of us are just too dumb to realize that.
And that's
unfortunately.
And that's why I've haven't limit from training men, but it's like, it's a whole nother headache. To where it's like, I'm a professional. I'm doing this as a profession, and you have to be just as professional dealing with me. I'm not here to turn you on, but if that's your thing, I've had men literally let it go in a training session. And I'm just like, this is not only offensive.
What do you mean by let it go?
Yeah, what do you mean? Like, let's break that down. I don't know what you mean.
Like, they just whipped it out?
Let it go. They had one. Had one
what?
And then they let it out. They let it go.
What?
A
An
fart?
erection and then climaxed.
What?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
No
Why
way.
I was
That's what
training
you're saying.
them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Like, what kind of training
I had to
did you
translate.
do?
I
I understand.
And doing
Translate.
either like a massage therapy or doing stretches, making sure that they.
That's a cancel of your.
You're
forfeit-
canceled.
You
You
get canceled nowadays for
canceled.
that shit.
But
that is a termination of contract right there. You terminated. You like that?
Yeah. And
He
it-
terminated his contract if you did that.
And that's why, I've been traumatized by trying to help
That's
everybody. And you can't help everybody. So it's like, I'll respond to questions or whatever on social media, but it's more so really having a love and helping women understand that you can do this. It's about you, but I'm not going to pacify you during the process when you keep cheating or you keep thinking.
Like, why are you wasting my time? Now you're wasting your time and my time.
For me to have a passion for this. Like, I want you to be the best you. If that's the best size 2, best size 4, best size 16, best size 22, I don't care. I will help you, but you got to love what you're in, and you got to get to the goal weight that you want, but you got to put the work in. I can't give you, I hate when women say, I want my body to look like yours. Your body's not going to look like mine. This is years of work.
Right.
And unless you're going to live my life exactly that I do every single day, my body's not perfect. I look at some women, I'd be like, she is bad. I have no problem.
Like, for
I
instance,
have no problem with
like
saying
who?
that.
Like who? Give us a.
There's this girl online that I watch. I don't know her name. She does swimsuit things and she does these stretches, but her body is absolutely flawless. And it's like, I have admiration for her, and I follow her because I'm just like, your body's amazing.
Like bodybuilder wise, because I mean,
Yes.
for me, like, I love a girl that's fit, but I couldn't be with someone who's like bodybuilder shredded.
Like
either.
those-
Cock Diesel.
Yeah,
The
like that.
women
That's
wrestlers.
So,
not- and none of my trainings, and I've told women, my training is not going to do that for you.
Yeah.
I am all about getting you slim, fit, but sexy and
Yeah.
soft. Like, you're going to look like a woman. I'm not going to bulk you up to where you're bigger than your dude. No, I want women to feel feminine, look feminine, and feel good about what they're doing. So I do lower weights, higher impact reps in my workout. But Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, I follow her. Her workouts and her body, she's freaking 60. She looks amazing. And she's had like 5 kids. And you can't tell me you can't look like that, because I see what she does on top of nutrition. She does it all. And she, like, her body is like every last one of you would turn if she walked in here. Okay. She's absolutely beautiful.
Charlie.
Oh, really?
Nicole Murphy.
Tell her to come on. Tell her to come on.
Right.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
But she takes such good care of her body, and she doesn't look a day over 38. And she's
Nicole Murphy.
Oh my God, not a day over.
When you talk to her, ask her why she keep calling me so much. Man.
Yeah.
But I follow women like that.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't see that I'm not gonna work out with you if I know your body isn't, better than mine. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because I work really hard to make sure when all of it comes off, I don't want extra stuff. Like, no, I'm just putting on my clothes. I want to look good. Just
How much of it is it on diet? Because I think that's why I personally struggle. Like, and I think that is for most people too. 'Cause
Huge.
I can work out every day, no problem. But then when it comes to eating, though, man, it's tough.
diet is actually first, because
Yeah.
guess what if you have an injury, right?
Yep.
And you can't work out. That doesn't mean just satisfy your soul with whatever you want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually eat, and I live by, like, when I know it's time to grind, like I'm about to have a trip, I got to lose about 15 pounds by the end of May. I'm going to do it easily. I know how to do it. I would never suggest any client to do what I do, because I don't know that
They're not on your level, though,
right.
either.
And to be able to do that, or reject food, or not incorporate certain things. Like, I have a meal plan online that's 30 days, 30
Nice.
pounds. And it's literally a 1,200 calorie diet a week.
1,200 a week?
1,200
Not even a
calories
day.
a
Good Lord.
week.
Oh my!
but
And
it-
you're eating 3 meals a day?
3 meals a day and 2 snacks.
What kind of stuff is?
Absolutely.
What's like a meal? Yeah,
So
just like what's
the
a big
meals
one
are
meal?
portions of your fist. So, like, your stomach is only as big as your fist, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So when people eat more than this, you're overeating at that
Yup.
point. Nobody believes that, because who's going to eat that much on a plate with every single meal? Nobody does it. I know when I have something to do, this is how much food I can eat, and that's it. And you're not supposed to eat until you're full. You're supposed to eat till you're content, on time. So your breakfast time, your lunch time, and don't eat past a certain time.
Yeah.
Like, if
Eating at night's big one. That's the big one.
Sleep.
Like,
if you're not getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep, I say even 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Your metabolism works off of that and burns off of that.
Yeah.
Like, I set my alarm at night. If it's not 8 hours, I have to be in the bed by my 8 o'clock mark. I have to get 8 hours because my body has to turn over whatever I did today.
Yep.
Either it was if I didn't work out, whatever I ate. It's a lifestyle.
yeah.
And until it's a lifestyle to you, I can't tell someone, hey, yes, I guarantee you you're going to lose this amount of weight with everything that I say. Are you willing to make this a lifestyle? It's a
Yeah.
whole entire this is what I incorporate in my day. No, I don't eat that kind of food at night because I know what it's going to do to my body.
Right.
It's a lifestyle. It's
not a habit. I like that.
Well,
You got to make a lifestyle.
Let's
not a
hear,
habit.
Lifestyle.
I want to hear a sample meal because you're saying 1,200 calories a week.
A week.
That's like
And
you're
I
eating apples and
calculated.
water.
No, I
Yeah,
calculated.
that's what it sounds like.
But this is the thing. If you calculate, so I calculated, I created it myself. Like I didn't make it up. I didn't like.
You made it. You
No,
did.
I didn't copy it because some people
Okay.
have their products out
Yep.
and they're copy and pasting from Google. They're
Yep.
copy and pasting from Pinterest.
Google
I didn't do
University.
that. I actually created it myself. I looked up what each food does as you put it in your body. Some of the foods I incorporate actually burns and boosts your metabolism as you're eating it throughout the day. And if you do it at a certain amount of time of the day, your body will respond to it.
Well, let's hear a sample meal. Come on.
First meal, 2 boiled eggs, and you can even do like 2 strips of bacon and a cup of orange juice, natural squeezed
That's
orange juice.
nothing.
Or green tea. So I've incorporated
like
a
a
lot
side.
of tea. That's nothing. And
No,
eating
yeah.
it in the morning. For lunch, you're doing handful of almonds, right? Handful of almonds, a slice of cut up apple, and then you can do a half a salad, literally. For dinner, 3-course meals, a protein, a vegetable, and a starch.
And
Literally.
you're telling me that's to last a whole week, 1,200 calories. Let's just
You're
get
gonna
this
be
straight.
hungry, though.
You're saying 1,200
She's not
calories
saying
a
it's gonna
whole
be
week,
easy,
not
though.
a day, a whole week.
A whole week.
She's not saying it's going to be easy.
And-
I
and
would
it's
have a
not
tough
easy
time with that.
because
You're
the
going to be hungry.
portions that you're eating is literally like, oh my God, I'm hungry. But if you incorporate grapefruit, so grapefruit boosts your metabolism and burns calories and it curves your appetite. Grapefruit is in there. So certain foods, if you eat it, you won't even want to eat. So
Yeah.
one of them in the daytime is grapefruit. You eat grapefruit in the morning, you're not even going to want lunch. Your body's going to forget that you're even hungry. Boom. You may skip lunch. You may go right to your dinner. But it's literally calculated so that, and everybody can't do it because some people are either diabetics, they have to, and that's another whole issue, being a diabetic, you know. Some of these diet plans aren't good for diabetics. I have declined clients because my plan won't work for you because it's extreme.
That's real, though. I like that because
And
that shows
I've
you
had
I'm
to
not
say.
just going to take your money
No.
anyway. Like
I've
I
had to
want
tell
you. I
people.
want everyone to succeed.
Yes.
Here. So, man, see, time's flying by. I knew this would be fun.
Yes.
I want to ask you. So there's some questions here you sent me. I want to make sure we get to at least a couple of them before we end.
I
We only
sent
got
you.
like a little over 20 minutes here. now.
okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's go. Okay. As a woman in the fitness industry and a woman of color, what hinders you being able to target a vast majority of people with problematic weight issues?
So for one, I've been told to, like, if you've never been overweight, how can you tell a person that's overweight? And especially being a woman of color.
I hate that color has to even be a
Our
part
cul-
of
it does, but if you look at even
subscribe to
culture,
humanity.
you know,
Yep.
the types of foods that we eat are different than other cultures, and they're more fatty foods. They're more foods that, you know, make you gain weight. Some, you know, in
That's
cultures,
soul food?
you
Yeah.
know, a lot of beans, a lot of things that, you know, we're not even number one for obesity.
Yeah, it's got to be Texas, right?
For race and it's actually the American Indian race is the highest.
Okay.
Yep,
I could
it's
see
literally 80%
What's the
are obese and
what's the
30%
biggest
are
state?
overweight.
the
Probably
state?
Do you have
Texas.
biggest states?
I didn't break it
Okay,
down
you got
by
okay.
state.
Oh, okay.
I did it by race, income, even income has something, and age.
Ooh.
And yeah, so we're actually 3. So wait, no, we're even under the Caucasian race.
Here, say,
We're
we
at
can say that again in the mic.
62%.
Yeah.
So we're at 61%. Even the Caucasian race is at 61% of obesity, believe it or not. And this is, like I said, in the state of Minnesota. Now we're talking about Minnesota.
Okay, so all the statistics you just read off is just Minnesota. State of Minnesota.
Yes.
Okay.
And we are
so
number
Native
30.
Americans are the most obese in the state of Minnesota.
They're the top.
I'm
Okay.
confused. Why is this in orange and
So
blue?
orange is overweight and blue is obese. So that lets you see the percentage of each one. So this was on a
okay.
graph. I just wrote it down so it would look easier.
That makes me sad to hear that Minnesota isn't doing good because I thought we used to be one of the used to be one of the healthier states.
No, never. We were
never
number
were.
3 for obesity in the nation.
Number 3?
Number 3. We are number 30 now in 50 states.
Okay.
Who's number 1? California?
I can look it up. I can try to look up.
Look that up.
Well,
Yeah.
let me ask
But like
you this.
I would guess it would
Number
be
3.
California or Florida because those places were the beach lifestyle exists,
And
you're
Florida and things like
much
that?
more motivated to
stay fit.
stay fit.
Yeah.
See, I thought Minnesota, we were doing good. I know we have the snow, but at the same time, that forces us to get your ass out there and shovel
But we
a
got
little
good
bit.
food here. We got good food here.
It's starting to get food
They
here.
got good food
But
everywhere.
people work. Minnesota's a work state, so people are working. People are staying behind online now, so they're eating where they're working from
You know
home.
what I'd be interested? The obesity rates pre and post COVID
Yeah.
with so
that'd
many
be good,
people
yeah.
people working from home
Exactly.
nowadays. Like just
But
even
a lot
at
of
my
people
job.
use that as an excuse too.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Do you know how
COVID.
many people?
That's what I say.
Well, COVID hit. I was in a retail management, and I would get so many women coming. Well, COVID hit. Then this was probably a year later. COVID hit. I just gained 20 pounds, and they didn't never address it. So you went up 3 sizes in a year because of COVID? I thought that was a good time to start working out. I was doing Zoom. Like I was calling people, hey, join my Zoom. Pay $10 to get on a Zoom. I'll give you 45 minutes of a workout. We're at home.
Yeah.
Why not? Like I thought that was the time for you to stay fit. But no, the average person was home eating more. My 14-year-old even gained so much weight during COVID because he was home. And he's
Don't
just
do that to
eating
Chris.
and
Don't do that.
eating.
Don't do
I mean, but he was enjoying food. He was enjoying the snacks.
So some people are different, like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still no excuse. But I like going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like working out at home. I just once you're in the gym, it's that I go in there, I feel the vibe, the mentality. It's like, I
But
gotta,
people are intimidated of the gym.
I don't know why.
but
So I
I'm-
got real quick, most obese states. And this is 2023, just wisevoter.com. I don't know, one of the first things to come up with Google. West Virginia is number 1.
Wow.
Currently it says. West Virginia, then Kentucky, then Alabama.
Wow.
What's the percentage of?
And this is 2023. Those are all in the 40%. And this is just obesity too. So I'd assume
40%
that's
of the
not.
people are obese.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's not considered overweight. I believe that's just considered obese. Now, top 10 least obese would be District of Columbia, Hawaii, and then Colorado.
Now that's worse. Obese is worse than being overweight.
Yeah.
The
By far.
percentage.
Yep.
Obese now is where you're in extreme health issues now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when it's like you're having problems just getting out of bed
Yeah.
in the morning.
Or you've hit diabetes type 2. Like this is where you are hitting to a point where it's not no hope, but you're past overweight,
Yeah.
meaning
You're about to have a TLC show.
or stroke or a heart
That is
attack.
hilarious.
What? The my
No,
six.
like, you're going
what do you think of
into
the my
health
600-pound life people? Yeah,
Oh
I know
my
you've had to
God.
seen those
Actually,
shows.
and I have another show. What do you think of? I don't know if you've seen this. It's called From Fit to Fat to Fit.
I seen that.
Have you seen? What do you think of
Absolutely
that?
Pathetic. And I think it's a good experience that they're doing on people to where, okay, let this person eat this much and gain this weight and then lose it again. I think it's
Yeah.
good for people to actually see it's really realistic for you to lose what you're doing.
Yeah.
The habit that they're showing though, is like, it was so gross to me. It's just like this woman ate, just glutting. And then for her body to go to fit, to gain, to lose, I was like, okay, it's a great experience, but I just felt like, why are they doing this to people? Like the extreme that it takes to get people to realize what your body can do. It's like, that's extreme, but it's like carrying a baby. Okay,
Yeah.
you're going to gain this amount of weight. Now you have to lose this amount of weight. And it's not the comparable to carrying a human life, but it is comparable to, you're going to gain weight, be prepared for it. Now be prepared to lose the weight. So I get, in that sense, is kind of how I looked at it. I just felt like this is so extreme just to get people to take their body seriously and to know how the human body actually works. It's like, if you gain this amount of weight, you can lose this amount of weight. But look what they had to do to lose the weight. This
Well,
wasn't,
Yeah.
they had to do double the work than what they had to do to gain that weight. So if you're eating a cheeseburger 4 days out of the week,
Yep.
mind you, that's beef, 72 hours for beef to digest in your body.
Really? I didn't know that.
72
Fun fact of the day.
hours. And if you work
That's just
out,
beef. What about red meat? And same?
I would just
Yeah.
say beef. Yeah,
Okay,
red
yeah.
meat. It's 72 hours.
Oof.
Now you have to work out for 4 hours just to work that off. Is it worth it?
Well, shouldn't it keep you
Yes.
full longer?
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, but it's like, if people knew how your body actually responds to digestion, our issue is our digestive system. If your body's not breaking down food to digest, to let it out,
Yeah.
guess what it does? It stores. When it stores, boom, we expand.
And everyone's body's different.
Yes.
Like, there's like 4 different body types. So there's like endomorph, esomorph, stuff like that. I'm sure you know all about that stuff.
So somebody can eat whatever and they don't gain any weight.
I think we all know someone who, like, we all have that one friend we're really envious of. That person who's just eating like junk all the time, eating the burgers, eating the fries, and they're still just can't gain a pound.
Yep. But later on, believe it or not, they will either gain the weight or they will come across a health issue, high blood pressure, diabetes. They will, because I've seen people who are actually thin and they're diabetics. It's because of their diet.
Yeah.
They put, or genetics, you know, they just ran into this bad gene and they end up having it. But diet and exercise go together. People say, I don't have to work out. That's great. But what's wrong with a walk? What's wrong with a stretch? What's wrong with doing something physical to make sure that your limbs are working and make sure that you don't get sore? Massages are wonderful for your blood flow.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
like
do cold tub or cold showers,
never
any of
did
that
those.
stuff?
my husband and my
And I'm
sons
scared
do
because
it.
of what she was saying.
I
I don't.
yes.
No, I've always been scared to get them because of that.
To do what?
I don't think that would happen to me,
Massages.
but I'm just saying.
Oh, massages
Because I don't
are-
want no guy rubbing on me. I'll be honest.
But no, see,
You know,
do you know
you
how
want
healthy
you
that
do
is
want a
for
guy
you?
because they can fucking really elbow you in there.
You'd be
Yeah, but I don't
surprised.
want no guy
My
rubbing on
massage
me.
therapist is this tiny little Asian woman, and she gets in there. I mean, and I love it because it's a good hurt, but the
Yeah, I want it to hurt.
response, my body goes through afterwards. I feel and it hurts. But if you can get a massage, I mean, I try to go every 2 weeks. If you can go at least once a month, that don't have.
Where's a good place to go around here? You don't mind
Around
plugging.
here, you know, I've had some really bad massages.
Me too.
But like really, like just stop, please. Like you're making it worse because it's not the pressure you need, nor are they doing it right. They're rubbing things and but when they know the pressure points, when they know how to do it, and they're actually taking the time to get in and loosen those muscles, getting that blood flow, that is the best therapy to me. Like there's a lot of different therapies. Massage therapy though, if you can get a deep tissue massage therapist, Lily's massage and I live far, so you guys are good. But if you go Lily's massage in the Galleria, they're amazing. They take the time with you, and you're going to pay for it. I mean, again, this is a lifestyle. So the things that people pay for to keep their bodies, you're going to pay for it.
Yep.
Like anything, you're going to pay for it. And it's like, okay, well, I don't have the money for that. But you had the money, you go spend $35 on an unhealthy meal.
Yeah.
Put that towards your massage. Put that towards something healthy. And it's just like you go into a store, you have all these options. Why are you walking to the most healthy section? Go to the fruits and vegetables. Like, try it. Like, try to incorporate new foods. There's so many, or cooking your own meal prepping. There's so much stuff in foods now. I just found out salmon can have chlamydia. Are you kidding me?
What?
Yes.
How can salmon have an STD?
So they're
Hey, watch out for that.
Yeah.
want to know.
It's a thing. It's an actual
I swear I
thing.
didn't
Hold on,
cheat
so
on you, Bait. I ate some
Wait,
salmon.
so somebody can eat some salmon and cook some salmon and then end up in the
I don't know if your
hospital.
body's
up
strong enough to
with-
contract chlamydia from it, but if you put it, you will get sick. Your body will reject it. Like
So
if
it's
it has
not like,
chlamydia,
but if you get like, salmon crazy, like some fetish or
I
something,
eat
then you
salmon
might
at
get it,
least
right?
4 days out of the week. I love salmon. Like I eat my salmon, eggs, and rice for breakfast. That's my
Salmon,
breakfast.
eggs, and rice.
Salmon, eggs, it's just the best.
Yeah, I like
Smoked
salmon.
salmon, eggs, and rice.
Ooh.
Amazing. And it curbs my appetite for
Now,
lunchtime.
do you eat white rice or brown rice?
I will eat white rice. I will cook it down and rinse all the starch off, but I will do white rice. I've done brown one, but I digest it differently.
I just always been a brown rice
Brown
because I
rice,
thought it was
yeah.
better for you.
It is. But
Like-
if I know that's going to be my only meal until dinner, I can eat the carbs in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most unhealthy thing you eat?
Anything fried or fast food in the morning, like people are just going through. I seen
a
somebody,
McGriddle?
The grills aren't that bad.
they're actually
Yes, they are, aren't they?
They're completely they are bad, but
Yeah.
they're not the worst thing.
Mm.
Some of the stuff when I was in Japan, biscuits at McDonald's is banned in that country.
Fuck. That's my
you
favorite
can't even
too.
order a biscuit.
The
It's banned.
sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit from McDonald's is my
Nope,
go-to
you're
for
getting-
breakfast.
Nope,
I-
you
I-
are
I-
getting
Are you
no.
talking about egg McMuffin?
No,
you're
the
You
saying
have to get a
biscuit.
McMuffin,
I
or
like
you
the
have to get
McMuffins.
a McGriddle, and the one in Japan, and they do not eat unhealthy. Like you can't find it. They're vending
Japan's got to be
machines.
one of the least obese countries, I would say.
Man, let me tell you
actually.
something. You guys.
You don't see
You say Europe.
you don't see a
I'm
fat
saying
Asian
Europe.
person.
You know, you go to Europe, almost any other country, it's not.
Everybody's fit.
You come
Everybody.
here and it's like, what the hell happened? You
Yeah.
know, and you go there and it's like,
wow.
I haven't seen one. I don't think I've seen one obese person when I was there for like a month. I've seen people overweight, but that's barely. You know, it's just it's so
like,
strange.
On a serious note, like people who struggle with obesity and being overweight, you have to understand too, there's a mental health side of it, because some people go through traumas, they go through tragedy, and they forget that their temple still needs attention.
Yep.
And they don't care. And when you lose a loved one, when you go through losing a child, when you go through people leaving in relationships, when somebody leaves, when divorce happens, I mean, people literally lose their pitch, and their body is the last thing that they're worried about. So it's like being sensitive to those matters. That's why people say body shaming. I understand that people go through things which causes these things, but when you're just careless and letting it go for no reason, there has to be somebody to say, hey, let's get back on board.
Yeah.
Get this back together.
How can you help them turn their traumas into motivation? Because when I think back, like some of the biggest heartbreaks I had, especially when I was younger, that gave me that extra gear and to get my ass back in the gym, actually.
how
So
I
for
am,
me,
too.
like I personally, all my traumas was motivation for me to like get in really good shape.
And
Because I was like,
men and women are
F
different.
that be, you know what I mean? I'm going to look damn good. Like I'm going to lose a bunch of
From a
weight.
scale of 1 to
It
10,
was-
what kind of shape are you in?
I probably would say I'm like an 8.5. I'm in pretty good shape right now.
What about you? From a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm probably 8.5. I can do
Yeah.
better.
Well,
I have
what-
some work
Tad?
to do.
Yeah.
I think I'm like right now like a 7.
Okay.
What about you?
I don't think you're a 7, Bo. I'm going to have to call you out on that. I don't think you're a 7, Bo.
What do you think
I
you
don't
are?
think you're a
6 is. I think I'm a 7.
What do you think you are?
I think
A
you're
7.
like a 9.
7.
Think you're a
And there's
7?
always room for improvement. When you
I'll
don't
probably
think
say
you're improvement.
it depends by, I'm trying to be able to dunk a basketball on my birthday. And so I got a little ways to go if I can. I mean, I stay pretty fit, but I was just curious of where, because how do we assess that without looking at somebody else?
And like he was just saying too, what is our motivation? I
Yeah.
think too, it's always good to have some form of a mentor. Like nobody's going to be perfect. Even in fitness and trying to take care of my body the way that I have, there's always going to be somebody better than me.
Yep.
And always taking that that other look at, you know what, I could do better because mine doesn't look that way. So let me see what they do. If it's longer hair you want, if it's better skin you want, there's always something that you can admire about another person, especially women. To motivate them, you have to tell women, you're beautiful just the way you are, but I know you can do better. I know you can look better. I know you can think better and value yourself even more so that other people take you seriously.
Yeah.
Why are you having failed relationships? No, it's not always just because of weight, but if that's why you're last left, let's work on that. Let's be real with ourselves. Is that what you lost? Like, let's get that back. And motivating women, they have to know that you're being for real. You're not just trying to make them feel bad about themselves. That, you know what, I understand where you're at because I'm a woman, but this is why I work so hard so I don't get to where you're at because that's a bad place. And loving yourself has to do with, I'm going to love the skin that I'm in, but if the skin that you're in isn't the best you, then it's time to do something about it. And trainers have to stop accepting the emotional piece of people thinking you're body shaming them. And it's like, no, I'm not body shaming you. I want the best for you because I know you can get down to a 10. You're 14 right now. Let's get you to a 10. I know you're 18 right now. You have high blood pressure. You're pre-diabetic. Let's get you down to a 16. I mean, if you take the approach, I'm being real with you. It doesn't get no more real than this. I see where you're having health issues. Why are you going to make it work for yourself? Let's address that. And it's like, motivating someone, they have to know that you're real. I'm also a life coach. So it's like
They
in
go
all
hand
of my
in hand.
classes, they go hand in hand.
Yep.
After all of my classes, if I teach a class, I sit down and I say, what questions you guys have for me? And I'm going to give you the truth. And they know when they ask the question, well, I work all day, I have kids around the house. How can I incorporate? Look, stop making excuses.
Yep.
The kids don't stop you from working out. The husband doesn't.
don't.
Working all day doesn't make you not work out. You can get up 15 minutes in the morning and get your workout in before you got to start getting ready. Let's stop babyfying the fact that if you want to do it, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And it's bottom line. Just being real. I think when people stop pacifying the fitness world and making it seem like, oh, you need 3 hours a day. No. Let's get you 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's get you going. Let's eat right. We are going to get you in shape.
Yep.
They just need somebody who's going to just be real and say, you're going to stop doing this or you're going to reap the benefit of a stroke, heart disease, heart attack. Like, you're going to lose it. How are you going to tell your kids? What are you going to tell your kids growing up? Oh, I'm dying at 40 years old because you didn't take care of yourself. Let's put it into reality of our future. Like, how do you teach somebody about good credit and you don't have good credit? It's kind of the same thing. It's just like you want to incorporate healthy lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not habit. It's not a chore. It's a lifestyle. If this is part of my life and I want to live long, and people are going to die. Tragedy can happen. But if you can help it with fitness and eating right and putting good things in your body, especially good people in your world, you will live long.
What's your favorite sport?
Fitness, boxing.
Okay.
Boxing is my
Okay.
favorite.
Well, then what?
I would have to say, I mean, if dancing was actually like,
I think dancing
love
counts
dancing
at once.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite gym quote is? And I think it ties in what you said. I don't work out to add days to my life. I work out to add life to my days.
There you go.
That's good.
You know?
That's really
Yes.
good. That's right.
And God has the final say of what that looks like for us. But if you can help it, like every day I live every day like it's my last day.
Exactly.
Every day. So if that's saying sorry to somebody, if that's me praying longer, if that's absolutely, if that's hugging my kids
Not
a little
to you.
longer, right, not to him, not this guy. But
you got to have us back so we can talk about brother and sister stuff.
Brother and sister love.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, and
I would
not-
love that.
Yes, absolutely. But it's all about taking your life seriously. And the end result is, do you really love yourself? And you cannot love other people unless you love yourself. And your physical fitness has 100% something to do with that. And if you don't take your body seriously, who else is going to take you seriously?
Yeah. No one.
No one.
You guys got some strong communication genes in your family. I don't know if you your mom or your dad. I can tell she's your sister, for sure.
I can tell she's my sister. She's polished.
Yeah.
Our parents are really open. We talk, have a good dialogue, and they put up with me. So they live.
Are you the oldest?
He's the baby.
Oh, you're the baby.
But it's when I open
so
up
now things are starting to add up a little bit.
But our parents used to have this when we were younger. They used to sit us at a table and say, we're going to have confession. So whatever you've done, now's your time to say it, and you can't get in trouble. You won't get grounded. You won't get a whooping. But it's your time to be open and honest. And I think it taught us as adults, be open and honest and real, not just with yourself, but the people that you have in your life. And it's like they incorporated that with us so that we can
at a young age.
agree
They
to
taught
disagree.
you how to not to keep secrets.
So could you imagine how awesome that was when we have open confession?
Yeah.
And my sisters, they didn't have a clue that I was using their toothbrush for the toilet for 15 years.
Yeah.
They had no clue.
Disgusting.
Like, so all their toothbrushes got cleaned by the toilet, and they don't. Well, I'm
And
just
for
kidding.
what?
I couldn't get in trouble for it.
The devil, but you couldn't get in trouble for it. And it I teach my kids that too. Like, be open and honest with me, so you don't have to look online if you have questions about something. Come to me.
Don't
Come
Google.
To me.
YouTube and
Don't Google and YouTube
Don't
yet.
Google
Ask
on YouTube.
ask your mom or
me.
dad.
Yeah. And to be open with them, because especially boys, they're going to have questions that are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I can't act uncomfortable because this is their life. And it's just like, if you make it uncomfortable, guess what kind of relationships they're going to have? Uncomfortable ones. They're not going to be able to talk to whoever they're with about things that are serious. Their feelings. She gained weight. They're going to be like, I can't say anything. And men go through it where they don't feel like they can be emotionally attached to someone. And I think parents have to incorporate untoxic conversations with their kids so that they are open, especially when they get into a relationship. They won't have to lie. They won't have to shun their feelings. They're going to be open and honest. And I think that's why I think I'm so just real like that, because my parents taught us, you have an issue. And there are things that every family puts a Band-Aid on.
For sure.
But there are also things that you got to talk this through.
Yeah.
You can't hide that. You
No
can't
elephant
not
in the
talk.
room.
It creates extreme toxic behaviors, and it's like when you can be open and honest starting as a child and let your kids not express themselves, but more so be open that you can come to me. You know, I'm not your friend, I'm your parent, but we need to have that open relationship. So if you have concerns, come to me and I will fight. If I don't have resources, there's plenty of men in our family. Go to granddad, go to your dad, go to your stepdad, go, you know, get those questions answered, because as they develop, I tell you, I've had every question in the book. And I'd be like, whoa, he really asked me this. But I feel good. Like, they trust me with this information. So, you know, just be open and honest with people. Is the world just, it's crazy to me how people lie to each other.
Yeah.
Especially about
themselves.
stuff like this.
Yeah.
Wait, are you
Yup.
kidding me?
That's probably the biggest lie, actually.
How can't you tell somebody, look, I think you're gaining weight, without them wanting to leave you or cheat on you? Or that's
truth
crazy to me.
offends. The truth
The truth
offends.
hurts. And it's like, if you could tolerate someone to be honest with you, they really love you. And it might hurt. My husband has said some things to me that I'm like, but thank you for being honest. Because if my breath stinks and I'm talking to everybody in the world and you've never told me that, nobody's never told me, that's crazy.
I got a booger hanging out of my nose.
booger?
That's my pet peeve.
Right.
Like, how many people, like, there's been so many times in my life where I'm talking with someone and then they don't say anything, and I go to the bathroom and I see everyone hanging out. It's like, dude.
Yes.
Like,
or food in your teeth.
Yeah.
Or your hem in your skirt. It's like, wow, I'm around people all day and nobody felt comfortable enough with me.
We live in
to
this
say that?
politically. We live in a world now where nobody wants to offend people, and everybody wants to be liked and friends. That's where we have grown to this society where, like me, be my friend, don't tell me anything. But what that does, it doesn't make our strength as potent, and we have a very, very weak behavior, no nucleus to bind us together. Because if you say, hey brother, you got to tuck your shirt in more, he's offended, man, how dare. And nobody can handle any form of rebuke or correction now,
Or
and if
criticism.
criticism. And this is why it's good with anything you're doing to get a mentor, to get wise counsel that's not related to you, that sees value. We were talking on the way in about a mentor that sees the value in you, instead of paying somebody to see it in you, because the person that sees it in you can really pour into you way more, because that payment is just a job to them.
Your subscription.
See, but you get clients, right? And your clients come to you, they pay you, and you want to, like, they might not know
But
anyone
she doesn't
else.
accept everyone, though.
Right.
That's what
And
she
you
was saying.
can't.
That's the
You
big
can't in
difference. Like
fitness.
what Joe, like the mentors that Joe's talking about, anyone, you put your card on file, they will train you.
Exactly.
But that's a different. A trainer and a mentor have some similarities, but they have some differences. They're not the same. And we live in a society where it's like this is that. It's good to have a trainer, a mentor. All these different hats are necessary for one's growth. It doesn't just stop.
But then I've had people actually, unfortunately, say to me, oh, you look intimidating, so I didn't want to talk to you, or I can't talk. You don't even know me. You never give me the chance. You'd be surprised. I could probably relate, but it's like people have to stop judging people by how they look on the outside.
Suspend that thought.
Suspend it, because you can be missing out on an opportunity to meet a really good person that may be able to help you. I've experienced in letting that guard down to where, how do you look intimidating? That's who I want in my life, because I know you take your life seriously. Anybody who looks gullible or naive, I don't want you a part of my life, because what are you going to teach me? But somebody who's strong-willed and actually knows their worth and moves powerful and moves, with aspiration, and know I'm that girl. I walk into a room, everybody's stopping what they're doing. And people who move like that, that's who I want to be around, not the person who sits in a corner and shy and inattentive. No, what are you going to do for me? I'm outgoing. I'm
How are
spunky.
you going to make me better?
No, and it's like people have to really be careful with who they're letting in their life, because you know what? Sometimes it's not your parents, and sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not your siblings. Sometimes it's not, a pastor. Maybe it's somebody that you met at your job. Maybe it's somebody that you met at the gym. Maybe it's somebody that, who are you letting into that form of your life to inspire you? And I think people are surrounding themselves with people who have no motivation. If you, like I said again, if you're hanging around people who only rent and they don't own, how are they going to push you to own a home?
Yep.
If you're only hanging around people with bad credit, what are they going to push you to do? Have bad credit. Same thing with fitness. Same thing with the spiritual life. If you're only hanging around people who are unbelievers or people who don't have a spiritual lifestyle, what are they going to inspire you to do? So it's like we have to just think about who's in our circle. Anybody who has too many friends or a lot of friends, I don't need to be your friend because you don't need me. Somebody who's
you got enough.
You got enough. You don't need me. I'm not going to be your focus, and you're probably going to get distracted. So pick your friends and people who you say friends. I maybe have 5. I can say I probably talk to at least once a week, and I trust them with my life. And if I call them, they will come to my beck and call.
There's something called the 5 friendships that is very essential to have. The 5 friendships, it polish you in every room. You'll be polished in every room. I think we went over this before. Do you remember that? It's the person that's less fortunate. That way you can stay humble. A wise counsel, somebody that's older than you, that's been to where you're trying to go. Then a peer, somebody that's on your level that you can challenge each other with. But then it takes a pivot, a foreigner, somebody from a totally different culture. A totally different culture that makes you understand different philosophy. Eastern philosophy and Western philosophy are 2 totally different mindsets. And then if you can, somebody of the opposite gender with no erotic desire.
Right.
And if you have, because then you have perspective from that woman or whatever, and a young person. So I said 6 of them, but if you have those 5, you're really polished in every area of life, every facet.
And not closed-minded to there are other people in the world that may think and believe different than you.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And there's more than one way to succeed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or to believe. And so, there was another statistic on here about people who make more money versus someone who makes less money in the fitness world. Do you know there's no difference in people, like, far as
about
overweight
the same
or not?
obesity rate?
It's the same.
Okay.
And
Say that again?
There's the same obesity rate really has nothing to do with the amount of income that a person makes because it's all about mindset.
Yeah.
You can have very little tool and a lot of tool and not use it wisely. So, sometimes people are like, well, I have the money to do, you have the money to do that. That's a huge excuse and it's not a barrier.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's get that out of there. You can do what you do from home. You don't have to have a gym membership, so it's like,
$1 million are a healthy relationship right now. Got to make
Well, I already got a healthy relationship. So,
healthy relationships.
Healthy relationships, for sure.
$1 million are healthy relationships.
Healthy relationships.
$1 million.
Healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you know why I say that? I'm going to tell you why.
Because you can get $1 million
Yep.
Yep.
with
That's how I
those
feel.
healthy
Easy.
relationships.
Easy.
Absolutely. What would
Yep.
your pick be? $1 million, huh?
Yeah.
No. I'm a the currency of my life is built on relationships.
Yeah.
It sounds arrogant, but
Right.
I tell people,
We just have to get them a wife.
I don't need $1
Yeah.
million. Nobody.
Next podcast you come on, it's going to be about why this man's single.
Oh my God.
No,
That's what I want. I want.
Oh Lord.
That's more than a podcast day. That's, oh my goodness.
Oh, God bless you. Good night.
Yeah. Well, we are an hour and 10 minutes here. I know you want to go and watch the game, but at the same time, I don't want to cut you off. So how about this? Any last things that you want to say? We can go another 5-10 minutes here, and then we can wrap it up.
This has been rich, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate you, my beloved sister. She was so much fun. Like, time just flew. We didn't have one awkward or dull moment on here.
We never
No,
do.
no.
Yeah, we
no.
never do. If you wanted to.
Yeah, I want you to, if you got anything on the paper, any questions that I didn't ask you, like I definitely don't, like anything you want to say that we didn't get a chance to, let's get that out. I mean, you're always welcome back to, and then why don't you go ahead and, plug your gym and all that stuff too, and also put the link to our website and all that stuff in the description.
No, I just want people to know, like, again, thank you guys for having me. I think the world needs to just hear honesty and truth and just realness. And it's like people step away from realness, and it's like never to offend anybody or be so candid that you are being like unrealistic and not having a filter to where you hurt people. Not my forte at all. I'm a very kind, loving person. And, you know, I've had to say sorry to some people because of if your feelings got so attached to what I said, thought, felt, there is self-help that you need to work on with that. But my intention is never to offend. And so it's always to learn, because we can learn something every day, teach, motivate, and to lead people in the right direction so that they have guidance from somebody who's going to be real with them. I think that's what this was kind of just all about, just seeing fitness at another level to where I am going to be real with you. And it may not feel good at first, but you will learn it's coming from a really good place. And so in general, that's where it comes from, a really good place.
If you guys want a good show, a lot of views, get our parents on here.
Oh my God. Hilarious.
Get our parents on here.
Oh my God.
Get
And
my
to
mom
talk
and
about-
dad. Let me play your role though.
Okay, we'll do that.
Hilarious.
We'll
One
do
of you
that.
guys' role. I'll be the interviewer.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
That show, because that'll be
fun. Let's make it happen.
I mean,
Let's
they've
do it
been married
within
for
the
like
next month.
46 years and by 47 years, and just very authentic, very real, and
Authentic.
and have experienced every aspect of life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from having
can imagine
children,
just from talking to
marriage, from the world, from being, in a sinful world to being in the saved world and living for God and just doing the right things by
invite them
people.
on.
They
That's
are
gonna be a show
just
Let's make it happen.
All right.
and
I'm down.
very real.
Yeah.
So like where we get the realness from, I mean, it comes from somewhere, but it's just people need to understand there are real people in the world.
Have my just if you don't believe anything else, trust me. Have my parents on here. My mom and my dad sit in here.
They probably won't.
No, I could see they would.
You think?
You could talk them into it.
No, they would.
You can double team them.
They're just, I don't know.
They're very, but it would take your show to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
They're very particular.
Have they seen any of yours? On here?
Yeah. My
that's
mom's
what
probably watching right now.
Okay.
She watches the podcast. So.
Actually,
awesome.
my dad I went to their house yesterday, and my mom cooked me a wonderful cheeseburger. And
Did
my
she?
dad,
That's nice.
yeah, my dad was looking at I was showing him what we're doing today, and I think he seemed interested. Then he got up and did something. I don't know where he went, but he went somewhere and we left.
See.
Okay.
All right.
But
Well,
yeah, thank you so much for having
thank you
us.
guys.
Yes.
Tad, you got anything else to say? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say
let me-
JWAY Fitness.
Yes.
So
Yep.
JWAY at my Facebook page, JWAY, W-A-Y, Fitness, the number 4U, the letter
Okay.
U, is my Facebook page, which I really want to push that. And I have the Instagram. It's under Jorea Florent, and my YouTube page. I actually have a YouTube
Nice.
page too.
So I'll put the links to all this too in the description too.
Yes, and they can follow me there. And like I said, if you have fitness questions, I'm really big on. If you have questions, I do consultations. I do free consultations, but I like to know more about people before getting involved with training them, because you can have a serious injury that you're not fit for. You need to get that under control first. So very, very open with people about whether I can train them or not. So I am the real deal. I've had people work with me, be with me to my boot camps. I'm going to do a boot camp in the summer. And normally I run it for about 2 months in the summertime, like starting in July when it's hot outside. It's an outside boot camp. Men and women are invited to come. It's only $15. I think I raised it this year, but it's only $15 for a good hour and a half of boot camp workout. And
That's cheap.
It's fun.
That's super cheap.
And it's every Saturday mornings at 9:00. So
Okay.
I'll be posting that. I'll be getting ready for that. I'm trying to get in shape for that now. So that's to come. So
Sing a solo
We'll
for
have to,
just 2 verses of "Oh How I Love Jesus" for the people.
oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oops.
There you go. No, you didn't change.
There
Yeah,
is
that's beautiful.
nothing you cannot do.
My mom sings.
Man, we might just have to have you start
No.
singing on here.
No,
Bring a
I
keyboard.
can't
We'll
sing.
give you a show.
Yeah.
bring a
No,
keyboard.
my mother can really sing. She does runs. You're like, where did that
I got
come
my buddy plays the keyboard really well,
Yeah.
actually.
No.
Yeah, Okay, I'll stay away from him then.
Yeah.
Yeah, your buddy.
Yeah.
He's off.
Okay.
He gets me off real fast. So
Yeah.
I'll just.
Whoa! No, like,
Yeah.
knock it off, Tad. Knock it
Yeah,
off.
Tad had a dirty look in his eyes.
But
Man,
thank you.
no, thank you guys so much. Tad, you got anything to say before I end it?
But I might have to check out that 30 pounds in 30 days diet.
Yeah,
It sounds
try it.
insane. You know, like
30
And
pounds,
it's
30
extreme.
days.
1,200 calories. That's, wow.
It's extreme, but it works. And if your doctor, I only have people normally get their doctor's approval. I've actually had doctors say, go for it. And I mean, nobody's
go.
saying she is way out of line for that. Don't do that. She needs to be sued. Never. Like, thank God. But
awesome.
people actually have done it and they get great results and they love how they feel afterwards. And it actually just helps you learn how to cut back and eat portions. So
Yep.
that's what it does.
All right. And I choose the Doug Life. Doug Life chose me.
I love
Peace.
it.
Yes.
Bye.
You know?